Perfect. Okay, so we are covering day one of the Instagram growth workshop. And the first question that I want to answer for you guys is, what is the purpose of even using Instagram for my business? Now, I'm going to preface this training with this. I get asked a lot if everyone has equal opportunity on Instagram. And I'm going to give you the honest answer that other Instagram gurus will not. My answer is no. Instagram is not equal opportunity for every single one of you. And that's just the truth. For some of you, and that's one thing that you're gonna answer through this training. Can I even find my ideal client on Instagram? I would say for 90% of you, the answer is yes. And all of this will help you market your business. But I'm gonna also say 10% of you here right now, you might go through this entire thing and then be like, I really don't think that Instagram is the best place to build my business or to find the client I'm looking for. And that's okay. But at least you can find that out now rather than doing all of this for the next couple of years, still being frustrated with Instagram. So I want to get that question out of the way. I will just go ahead and be honest with you. It may not be for everybody, but for the majority of you, it absolutely is the place. When you learn to use it strategically, you will get more clients and it can become an amazing funnel for your business. Okay, so let's dive into how do we do this? Like, what does that even mean? So Instagram is used to market your business by connecting you to your target market by offering a solution and creating a community. Okay, let me slow that down. For those of us that are visual learners, you know that the app Instagram is used to market your business. Your goal when you are scrolling Instagram, those of you that are using this for your business, is to book clients. Yes? Okay. So how do you book clients? You book clients by, first of all, targeting that ideal client you are looking for, offering your unique solution, which is your services. And while doing so, you're creating a community of people that adore you, love you, all of those things. Okay. And they want to hand their money to you. So I'm literally going to show you how to do all of these things this week during this workshop. But we've got to start with the foundational hard work. And here's the deal. If you think you can skip day one and just come for the juicy stuff on day 2 and 3, you're not going to do well on Instagram. You're going to be missing the whole foundation of building everything else after. So please don't skip day 1. I've seen people do this. They skip day 1 and they go into the rest of what I have to talk about. But if you skip day 1, you are missing everything else that is to follow. Okay. All right. So let's talk about what in the heck is marketing. Marketing is the set of actions that a photographer, and I'm going to use every example for photography, is that a photography business uses to promote their products by connecting with their customers. So your goal is to book clients, but you do that through building connection, which I think we all realize at this point. Okay. So at the end of the day, everything I teach you is going to circle back to connection. So there are 4 parts to marketing. Okay. Number 1 is messaging. Number 2 is branding. Number 3 is content. And number 4 is strategy. I want you to notice something. Strategy is listed last, right? So I can't start day 1 by saying, here's the strategy, see you later, right? You have to equally do part 1, part 2, part 3, so that we can put it all together on Friday and get to a lot of the strategy, which we're going to talk some strategy throughout all the days. But I just want you to see, we have to get through all of these before we get to the strategy. So let's talk messaging and branding. So messaging is all about a conversation. So marketing is literally how you're communicating to that ideal client that you have what they need. Okay, so it's how you start and build relationships with your potential clients. The businesses and the brands who are the most successful are the ones that put extreme effort on serving their clients before trying to sell to them. Okay. So if you're one of those people where you're like, I don't really know how to use Instagram. I just kind of post and like sometimes do like a one-liner with a really good carousel of pictures from a session. And then I like pretty much just tell people that I have a couple dates left. You're probably really frustrated because you're like, I don't understand why I'm not booking. I take good pictures, like I serve my clients well, but what you're not realizing is you aren't trying to speak to the clients you've already had. You are speaking to people who have never used you before. So you have to put extreme effort on serving all of those people who have not yet booked you so that you can turn them into a client. Now, on the flip side, you have branding, okay? And I used to be one of those people that rolled my eyes every time someone would be like, let's talk about branding yourself. Because to me, I had heard it over and over and over. And I basically was like, I get it. Colors, logo, show your face. I've heard this all before. And then I got to the psychology portion of branding and it all changed for me, okay? So your brand pillars will be used in the content phase of marketing. And we're talking about that on Wednesday. So your brand pillars rise from the foundation of your business and your brand. This is what makes you stand out. It allows you to become memorable and it allows you to be in the position of being relatable. This is how you're going to become a go-to person, by creating this brand, this persona, this presence of who you are, what you stand for, why you do what you do, which we're going to dive into that today. And you're going to be able to be like, okay, wow, I don't ever have to ask you again, what do I post on social media? Like, this makes so much sense. So hold on tight because we are going to get there. Okay. Okay. And then there's the content and the strategy. So content is where the conversation is actually taking place. This is where the entire relationship really gets started and you're able to truly get to know your potential clients. Your content should be the easiest part of your marketing strategy because you already are going to have solid branding and messaging, which that's what we're going to work on throughout day 1, day 2. So you know exactly why you exist, what your business vision is, and what your mission is when you're actually working with clients. Then you have strategy. All strategy is you taking action by building on the messaging and the branding, and then turning that into content and connecting to your ideal client. So strategy is literally you taking the action. So on day 3, I'm literally going to release you to take all the action and run hard after by using all of these things so that you can start booking clients off Instagram. Okay. All right, so we're going to dive in just a little bit to this. Like I said, we got to do a little bit of foundation work, and then we're heading straight into the niche and the bio. Okay, and so get ready to write down some notes. If you're still with me, drop me another emoji. I like very interactive audiences as we go through this. So just drop me some emojis so I know that you're still here, and I'm going to dive in to master your message. So again, marketing is that conversation. This is where we start building relationships, okay? So there is one central theme that should connect all of your content together, and that is called brand messaging. So that is taking the messaging and the branding and literally putting them together, okay? Messaging is just referring to the language and the values that your business conveys in your content, okay? So as photographers, here's where it's all going to make sense. As photographers, we have to have more to our brands than just taking good pictures. How many of you hop on Instagram and you're like, oh my gosh, there are so many dang good photographers around, and you're just scrolling, and then everybody just starts blending together in your mind. Like, wow, there's so many of us. We're all so good, right? I have a lot of competition, right? So you have a lot of emotions when you're scrolling Instagram. I know I do. Number 1, I have a lot of competition. Number 2, I love this community. Like, look how talented we are. And then some other things are, wait, who is actually like standing out and what are they doing that's allowing them to stand out from other people? Okay, so you cannot just be a generic photographer that is good at taking pictures, because guess what? There's 5 billion other people doing the exact same thing. We've really got to like, let's start digging. What makes you unique? Okay, we need to dive deeper and we need to find out what sets us apart. So we're going to walk through an exercise. So this is where you're going to take your pen to your paper. And then I also added a spoiler. Okay, you may not be able to answer all of these just yet, but you will. Okay, so if you can answer these, I want you to. And this is part of your homework. Okay, so just jot down the first thing that comes to your mind as I walk you through these questions. And then what I'm going to have you do for homework later is you're going to come back to these and you're going to like journal it out. Like back when we're in school and I give you a journal prompt, you're going to spend more time on it. Okay. So number one, why did you become a photographer? I want you to like the first thought that comes to your head, write it down. And then for homework, we're going to really dive deep into that. Okay. So for me, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to use me as an example just to kind of walk you through these. Why did I become a photographer? I became a photographer honestly by accident, because I always thought that I was going to grow up and be in front of the camera. Like I loved doing photo shoots with my friends, but I loved like being the quote unquote model. Like that's where I thought I was going to grow up. I thought I was going to be like the actress, the model type. I never, ever would have told you, oh, I actually own the photography business. Okay. But when so that's my first thought, right? I accidentally fell into it. Like I don't know, like I just caught fire with it. I borrowed a camera, I was taking some pictures and I just was hooked. Like it was just like, this is so much fun. Okay, so that's like the surface level answer. When I go deeper, I became a photographer honestly because when I look back, I can see how all of my life events really kind of led up to it. And why, like, you know, specifically for me, like why God called me to that. Like this is definitely a calling. It's definitely a talent and a skill set. And then again, more for that is I have lost two brothers to just both tragic, unexpected deaths. And so that has shaped me and it has shaped the way that I see family. And it's one of the main core reasons of why I am a family photographer. Okay. So as you dig, keep digging till you strike something. And again, not all of you are going to have these super emotional answers. So don't think you're any less of a photographer just because you didn't go through tragedy. Okay. So I want to give you permission. That's okay if that's not your story. Number two, what is your vision for your business? Here's where a lot of you fall short. A lot of you run your business, you run your days off your feelings, not where you're headed, not a big picture goal. And a lot of you don't even set goals. A lot of you don't. Why? There's so many reasons. So I won't dive into all that because I don't want to take all your time. But what is your vision for your business? We cannot run our business or our life off feelings, because if we do that, we're going to fall short every single time. So I could tell you, I feel like I'm not showing up enough in my photography business and I feel like I should be doing more. But then I go look at the data and I'm like, no, I'm actually at max capacity. I couldn't even book another session if I wanted to. And I'm really enjoying the clients I'm working with. So the data, the truth, and my feelings, two completely different things. So I want you to set a vision for your business. What does a successful business look like under your terms? Because I could tell you, hey, you don't have a successful business unless you're doing A, B, and C, but that's not how this works. You have to set your own goals. So I really want you to take some time. What is the vision? How long do you want your business for? How much money are you wanting to make per month in your business? How many people are you wanting to impact and how? So write a vision for your business so that the next time your feelings start speaking and shouting at you, you can go back to that vision and you can use data to say, am I getting closer to my vision? Am I getting closer to my goals? Okay. Third question ties right into this one. How do you want to serve people? And the answer here is not, I want to give them amazing pictures that they can have for a lifetime and hand down from generation to generation. Raise your hand in the comments if you have said something similar to that in some capacity. I have, okay, but that is not the correct answer. That obviously you're a photographer, you want to do that. That's like me asking a dentist, how do you want to serve people? Well, I want to give people the best dental hygiene possible. Duh, right? Like that's the obvious answer, but let's dig a little bit deeper, right? How do you actually want to serve people? And this will be a lot easier to answer in just a couple slides. Okay, so just hang out with me. Okay, the next one is, what are some words, phrases, or adjectives to describe your brand? And if you are like, I don't know, I don't have a clue, this is an opportunity for you to go to your Instagram stories today, go to a Facebook page, whatever, and ask, what are some words or adjectives you would use to describe my business or my photography or me in general? And you know what? Maybe you do 3 question boxes and you phrase them all differently. So I want you to survey your audience and ask them, what words come to mind when you look at my photography? What words come to mind when you think of me as a person? And then start seeing what people have to say. That's a really good exercise to help you guys get kick-started with your brand. Okay, last question, and we're really gonna nail this. So if you don't have an answer right now, you will have an answer by the end of today's training. Who do you serve? Have you nailed your niche? I'm gonna bet 85% of you have not nailed your niche. Even if you were to tell me, yes, I have, here's my answer. I'm going to bet you change your answer by the end of this training, okay? All right, so there's the questions. So this is the key. When people ask me like, I'm not getting bookings, I don't feel like I'm standing out, this is it, this is why. So here is why. You have to have a specialty and an expertise. So long gone are the days of just being able to be a great photographer. It's no secret that there, again, millions, billions, whatever, of photographers out there. And it is getting harder and harder to stand out. It is not impossible, but it is getting harder to stand out, okay? There is one key piece of marketing that will make or break your business, and that is literally having a specialty. That's it. That is you being able to say, I want to be known for fill in the blank, okay? And guess what? You can get as specific as you want, as unique as you want to, but the point is you have to have a specialty. So what do you want to be known for? And what do you want to be the go-to photographer for? That's the first step, okay? So some of you might immediately say, I can answer this. And if you can, cool, drop it in the comments. If you can't quite do that, maybe you're new, maybe you feel like you're split between two, hang on, because we're gonna help make your decision. So let's nail your niche. This may be the first time or the 100th time that you have done this, but let's nail your niche, okay? So here, again, back to the paper, okay? Draw a little line, here's the next section. What types of sessions light you up? And I actually have a really fun exercise for this. If you have a sheet of paper, either draw a line down the middle or fold it in half hot dog style, like we were in 2nd grade, okay? And then open it, draw that line down the middle. On one side of the paper, I want you to put all the sessions that you love. And then on the right side of your paper, I want you to write down all of the session types that make you go, nope, whether they make you cringe, run for the hills, or you're like, definitely never happening, write that down, okay? So on the left side, all the things that light you up. So if I was doing this, things that I actually really do enjoy, I would put families, I would put maternity, I would put cake smash, and then I would probably put weddings, okay? Then on the right-hand side, which I guess I'd also put seniors now since I do some seniors, but on the right side, I would put newborns. That's a really long story. I can do newborns, but I don't love doing newborns. And that tells me right there that that I end up being resentful, and that is not fair to my clients. So I don't need to take any more newborn sessions. Okay. So do that for both sides of the paper. And again, what types of sessions drain you, or you almost always regret signing yourself up for? That is the easiest way to start eliminating things. Okay. This could be due to lack of experience. This could be due to the fact that it just never goes well for you. And so I want you to write that on the right side of your paper. Okay, so now we're going back to all the things that we actually wrote down that we enjoy or that we love, because we have to get down to where we can circle one and say, I'm running in that direction for the next year. I'm running in this direction for the next year. And this is the part where I know a lot of you are like, I'm just going to tune her out because I just don't like, no, I'm not going to choose. And I'm telling you, you're going to get left behind if you don't. Okay. I'm not saying you can't pick up the rest later. I'm saying if you truly want that business that you so desire, you've got to choose one thing. Okay. I was nothing but a family photographer for 4 to 5 years of my business before I was like, okay, I want to dabble back in seniors. Okay. So think about that. So what type of session have you had the most bookings from? Look at all the things you've done this year, last year, however long you've been in business. Does that align with you? Is that what you want to have the most bookings from? What types of photographers are you constantly following on Instagram? Are there, and let me preface this with, there are photographers that I follow on Instagram that are actually elopement photographers, and they just like blow me away with their work. Do I want to photograph elopements? No, I don't have, like, that doesn't align with my lifestyle. That doesn't align with my heart. Like, that's just not where I want to be, but I still love to follow them. I want you to think about what types of photographers are you following that inspire you and push you into that niche. That might help you decide too. Okay. So some of this is going to take some thought. It's going to take some work, but these are the questions that will get you started on nailing your niche. Okay. Okay. So if I asked you, and I am asking you, but if I was to ask you to commit to one path of photography for the next year, what would it be? Okay. So before you freak out and you're like, oh my gosh, if I don't take these things, I'm not going to have any income. And by the way, I just want to give you guys a side note. Even my husband said, if you keep cutting things out of your business, like, you're not going to make any money. And I'm like, thank you for saying that, because I'm actually going to bring that up, and I'm going to show you how that is actually not accurate. Okay. So just know that even Brooke's spouse is like, I don't know that I agree with that, but I'm telling you guys, 8 years into my business, this is the one thing that rings true. Okay. So imagine if you were to book out your dream clients, your calendar, while still living a beautiful life and business balance. And you woke up so grateful day after day after day to literally be living this amazing photography business out. What is your niche? Drop it in the comments. Drop it in the comments if you know. If you still need time to think about it, that's okay. If you know what you like, definitely I'm never going to be known for this, just out of the fact that I'm not called to it. You could also tell me, I know I will never be known for, and then you could list out those, and that would help too. So I love it. Yes, guys. Yes, you guys are the first people that I've taught. Now, I've taught the niche thing over and over and over and over again, but you guys are the first people to not have an and in your answers, and I am like beaming with joy. Okay, I love it. Okay, and Kim, family and children, they kind of coincide, but we're gonna get more specific in just a minute. Okay, all right, I love it. You guys are awesome. Okay, so here's some examples of niches if you need some help. High school senior photographer. And these are, okay, I want to explain one more thing too. Okay, so stick with me. I want to explain one more thing too. Each of these is like an umbrella. We could still get even more specific, which we're going to talk about in just a second. So these are umbrellas. So I want you to think, what umbrella do I fall under? Okay, so number one, high school senior photographer. Number 2, lifestyle family photographer. That's mine. Number 3, maternity and newborn photographer. Number 4, an island elopement photographer. So I could have just said elopement photographer, but this is someone who enjoys doing island elopement photographer. So that's probably going to be a lot more beachy or tropical. Okay. Number 5, intimate backyard wedding photographer. I didn't say weddings. I said what type of client and wedding I'm going for. Intimate backyard wedding photographer. Okay. And then number 6, a Florida photographer specializing in beach portraits. That is called a localized specialty. Okay. So they know that they are probably getting tourists as well as locals, but they are called a localized niche. So now that you've heard examples, can you guys get a little more specific in your niche, or can it at least get those wheels in your brain going? Okay. And I know you guys are like, you're really hammering this point out. I am, because in order to write your bio, we have to be able to answer this question, or your ideal client is not going to be able to resonate with you. And so that is why I'm like nailing this down until you guys have your niche. Okay. All right. Okay. So your niche can have, hold on, I can't even see what I'm doing right now. Your niche can have 2 session types, but they should be closely related, or you will find it very hard to become known for anything. So the example that does not work is you cannot tell me couples and family. That is 2 completely different paths. I would really encourage you to pick one or the other. Which one are you drawn to? And one of my awesome students is actually on here right now. And this is what she told me. And I made her make a decision, and she was scared and it was hard. And if she's open to commenting, I'd love for her to comment and tell you that what she chose and how it's been. But I challenged her to pick, and she did. And she can immediately see like, oh my gosh, I should have been running in that direction all along. Okay. So it's okay. So like if you're a maternity and a newborn, let's get really specific with that. And that's okay, because you're serving the same client twice, but you guys really need to, it's going to be a part of your brand and the way that you market. Okay. I love that. So Brittany Parsons said, I just love seniors, but my passion is newborns. Okay. So point blank right there. Our hearts can love a lot of things, but you're going to be pulled a little bit more in one direction than another. Hands down, you're going to be. For me, it will always be families. It just will. It's a part of my story. It's a part of me. And so I love that. I do love that. Destiny. Okay. Destiny said, I love maternity and birth, but I want to stop doing newborns altogether. Destiny, you can do that. You do not have, just because you do birth does not mean you have to be the newborn photographer. And I want to give you permission to run after that, because how beautiful to work with that mom during her maternity and then meet her at the hospital while she's delivering her beautiful baby. And that could be the end of y'all's journey together. But what's beautiful is, if that's your niche, get really good friends with a couple of newborn photographers that have a little bit of a different style, so that you can still serve that mama and serve your photography industry by passing on clients and give it, like, that's why niches are beautiful. They don't just serve you and your client. They allow us photographers as a whole in our industry to be able to help each other out. Because if we're running down our lane, we don't have time for the comparison. We don't have time for the competition. It's literally like, hey, I'm running and exactly what I know I meant to do. And all of the people that come my way, I get the beautiful opportunity to bless someone else's business with this referral. That is the mindset I want you to get in, instead of, I'm never going to make any money. Okay. All right. Let me see if there's anything else that, yes, I am talking about you. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else. Perfect. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. So, and I pretty much just said this. So why is niching so important and necessary? It's because people want the best of the best. They want to buy into a brand and someone who is the go-to in that area. So look around at all the best companies and brands. Many of them became known for one thing before ever expanding. Pop quiz, what was Amazon known for? What was their first product before they became this amazing, like crazy industry? Pop quiz. I want to see if someone knows the answer to this because this is mind-blowing. Okay. Anybody know the answer? Oh, sorry, I'm giving it a minute. I really want to see if someone knows the answer. Very good, Courtney. Books. Amazon was first known for being an online bookstore. Yep. And then they expanded after they started getting well known, after they got their business off the ground, after they had profit. You guys are so good. Yes. Okay. But now Amazon does everything. Now, my goal is not for you to become an Amazon. Okay. My goal for you is to start with one thing. And then I'm answering this question right now. Can you have two solid niches? Eventually, yes. But you've got to start with one thing, and then it has to be typically related. Okay. And again, this goes back to it's a specialty thing. If I diagnosed you with a rare disease, are you going to go to the general practitioner down the street who's never seen it before, or maybe one or two cases? Or would you rather go with someone who on a daily basis is treating and operating on this rare disease? Okay, I'm just going to leave that there. Okay, so how does Instagram play into all of this? Here it is. It is part of a marketing funnel for your business. It is not your end all be all. It is literally a part of a marketing funnel. Okay, so this marketing funnel is the process that your potential clients go through from finding out that you exist, which is called exposure, to deciding to work with you and then becoming a loyal client, which is all the way down the funnel to trust. So you need to understand this funnel and its order before creating your marketing strategy. So we're going to dive into exposure and interest today. The rest will come later, and you can learn the rest of this funnel in your workbook, okay? So exposure, this is at the very top. So this is the part of the marketing funnel when someone realizes you exist. It's their first encounter with your business. Sometimes this happens online. Sometimes this happens from word of mouth. Sometimes it happens on social media, and sometimes you pop up in a Google search, okay? This is the part that everyone is familiar with. This phase includes people finding out about you through hashtags, referrals, business cards, ads, and community networking. This usually starts piquing the interest of someone to explore more about you because they know that you are the answer to their pain point or their desired outcome. So even though this is the most common phase and likely something that you've heard about before, it's important that you realize the rest of this funnel needs to be set up in order for your strategy to be successful. Because if you pour all of your energy, time, effort, and even money into the top layer of this funnel, but you don't work on the rest of it, you will find yourself holding a strainer that can't hold water, which means the water is your clients, meaning they're just falling through. You're not keeping these people as your clients, okay? So then there's interest. So exposure, someone has found out you exist. Maybe they found you on Instagram. Maybe someone shared one of your reels or one of your posts, or maybe one of your former clients tagged you and then they're like, oh, who's this photographer? And then they come over to your profile. That's called exposure. Now we're here at interest. So now that someone knows about your business, they're likely to be interested. They're now in the stage where they want to learn as much about you as they can before deciding to move on to the next stage. And let me preface this with, it's not necessarily that they're looking to learn about you personally, but they're trying to figure out immediately and as quick as possible, are you someone that can help solve their problem or give them a desired outcome? Okay, so the best example I can give is if a bride is currently planning her wedding and is on the hunt for a photographer, they typically start in their small circle first. Whose wedding did they go to? Whose pictures did they love? They'll start going to search for the photographers. They'll land on the Instagram page. And then now they're like, okay, I'm going to decide in like 2 minutes or less if this person is even someone I'm considering working with. And all they have to judge you by is either your Instagram, like your feed, your highlights, your stories, all of that, and the link to your website. That's it. And they want it quick. Okay. So the interest stage is the primary stage where your social media takes the spotlight. And that is why we're doing this workshop. So they're likely searching for you on their preferred platform choice, which we're assuming is Instagram, to get a better idea about your business. Okay. So again, I've already told you, they're looking for your editing style, your reviews, your previous work. When were you last active on here? Do you even bother to show up, or has it been like 4 weeks since you've been on here? Because if that's true, I'm telling you right now, the consumer will not stay. They will leave you for another photographer if you don't have consistency on social media. And I don't mean that, and you can argue with me on that, but like, I'm not saying you need to have shown up 2 seconds ago. I'm saying they've got to see consistency. So if you're showing up twice a week and they can tell you're very active and you're very loyal to that, then they'll stay, right? But if they can tell like, oh, wow, it's really been hit or miss since February of this year. I don't even know if they're still in business. Are they still taking pictures? And at that point, when they have a seed of doubt, they move on. Okay. You've got to get into the mind of your buyer, which is your potential client. Okay. So basically all this page says to you is your Instagram matters, and we need to give someone a yes or no. We need to repel or we need to attract them as quick as possible to get them into your funnel and get them on your calendar. Okay. All right. So the Instagram funnel. So now that you know that, now how does Instagram play with that particular funnel? Okay. If you're still with me, drop the word Instagram in the comments. Grabbing a quick drink. Once I see someone comment Instagram, I'll keep talking. I know y'all are on a little bit of a lag. Dun, dun, dun. Found it. Okay, we're still here. Okay, the Instagram funnel. So let's dive into what does this look like. Okay, here are the parts to your Instagram funnel. So Instagram's role in your business is to act like a funnel. A funnel is a journey. Okay, if you don't like the word funnel, replace it with the word journey. It is literally supposed to bring in leads and get them from interested, which is scrolling, tapping follow, looking at your stories, to inquiring about your services. Okay, so you've got your profile picture, your username, bio, your content, and your DMs. All of those play together into getting your potential client through your funnel to get on your calendar. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about your profile picture and your username. Okay, so you need to make sure that your profile picture is of you, not a client, not your best photo you've ever taken, not your logo, not some random thing. It needs to be a profile picture of you. And it either needs to evoke personality, or you need to literally be smiling at the camera and show us your gorgeous face. Why does that matter? Because people now, more than they ever have in history, want to do business with people, eye to eye. They want the eye contact. They want to know who they are talking to. Okay, you can smile, you can hold a camera, you could even be holding a camera and giving some attitude. I really don't care, but it needs to be of you. Okay, so if you're like, crap, I've got to get that logo off, write that down. That's action item number 1. Okay, your username needs to make it very clear on your business. your username needs to make it very clear. Oh, okay, so your username needs to be very clear to someone that you are a photography business. Okay, so typically this is your business name. Now I understand that there's a lot of usernames on Instagram, but it needs to be easy to read, or it needs to be something that you're comfortable going by. Okay, so you might have to shorten things, or you might have to add in a special character somewhere, but I want you to think about your client when you come up with your username. Some of you are going to go change your username today because you're like, yeah, I don't really love mine, or oh, that is a little complicated. If you have a special character, I want you to put it towards the end of your username, because you want your clients to be able to easily reshare your images, your stories, your posts, and the only way that they can tag you is if they can remember it, right? So it should be at like Brooke Janae Photography, at Love and Grace Studios, or at Shannon Senior Portraits. So these three are very different. One, that's my name, but it also is my photography business. Let's say that that username was taken or it was too long. Let's just say that, okay? Instead of doing Brooke _ Janae _ photography, I probably would do Brooke Janae .photography, because that's easier. And because when someone goes to tag me, as long as they type in Brooke, it's automatically going to auto populate at the bottom. I'm going to pop up and they're going to be able to tap me and move on. If you have a special character in the beginning, I'm telling you right now, it is way harder to find. I've tried it with some of your usernames and it's really hard to find you. So just, that's a 2 cents. Love and Grace Studios, that was just an example of a name I made up. Very cool if someone has that. And then the other thing you might think of is, hey, my photography business name says it's taken. I've tried every way to make it look right. It still doesn't look right. Then maybe you consider your first name and then what you specialize in. Okay, so at Shannon Senior Portraits. Why does that matter? Because your username is SEO friendly, which means if someone types in the word senior and they are near to you, you will pop up in their search results just for having the word senior in your username. Okay, so that's something else to think about. You guys have to remember, if people are stumbling upon your profile, they don't know that you ever existed. So how would they know to search for your photography business name? Okay, point made. Moving on. Okay, yay, Tabitha, glad that you just changed yours. Okay, so now we are going to talk about your bio breakdown. Okay, so please understand that this screenshot, what I'm saying is meant to attract photographers. So please know yours will not say this, and that's why I'm going to give you an opportunity here in just a minute. If you want me to help you come up and help you do your bio, I'm going to give you that opportunity in just a minute. So hang tight. Okay. So the first thing that it's pointing to, you see that bolded name section, that is searchable. So it should not match your username. Okay. It should say what you are or what you do. So again, high school senior portraits, or it could have a location. So I tell a lot of photographers, this is where you need to start, like DFW senior portraits. Boom. That way, when your senior is like looking for senior photographers, if she goes up there and she types in senior photography and she is in the DFW area, you're going to pop up in her search results because it is SEO friendly. So it does not need to be the same as your username. That's called wasted space. It needs to be SEO friendly, and I will help you come up with that once you know your niche. Okay. The next thing is the actual bio text. Okay. So what solution you provide? You only get 150 characters. Okay, and I actually found a website, and I will drop that in the group to where it helps you practice. So you can type it out as many times as you want to. You can add emojis, and it will literally keep track. It will tell you when you've gone over your characters, all of those things. Okay, so it'll show you exactly what it's going to look like in your bio. Okay, so I'll drop that in the group. But I want you to think about this. This is what needs to be in there. What solution are you providing? Which means what services? Who are you serving? Your credibility. Some of you have credibility? Have you been featured somewhere? Have you won an award? Have you been in business for more than 2 years? There's a lot of things you can use for credibility, okay? Your call to action. We're going to talk about this very extensively, but your call to action is you need to give people something to like that makes them go, oh, I want that like right now. Okay. And then your website active link. Now, your call to action might be as simple as let me see, or like check, I don't know, like view my calendar to see if your date, or check my calendar for your wedding date, something like that. And then boom, you have a link to your Instagram links page, and the very top button would be like a link to your calendar for people to see if they have the date on there, okay? Some of you are going to create something, which I believe we're going to get into in just a second. And then you need to have a website, an active website link. Bonus points, have your location in your bio. You will notice that I do not. The reason I do not is because I am serving photographers around the world. I was going to say country, but I have a lot of Canadians and Australians and people all over that are a part of my community. And so that's why you're not going to catch my location in my bio, because I'm not looking for people that are local to me, but you are. Okay, so put your location in your bio, and it's easy. You don't even have to spell it out. You can literally go into your settings, add your location. Now, it doesn't have to be where you live. It could be where you're targeting to get clients. Okay. Okay. All right. So your Bolden name section. So a lot of this I said already, but this is just going to give you some examples for each of these things. Okay. So your Bolden name section, this is SEO driven. So again, don't put your username, don't rewrite it there. This is billboard space to be found by potential clients in their search results. So examples. See, this is why I gave examples so that I wasn't tripping on my words during this training. Okay, so think Dallas senior photographer or Atlanta newborn photographer. The more specific of a location that you can be, the better, right? Because you're trying to pull people that are around you. Now, some of you are not. Again, some of you are not trying to get local clients. So you need to get very creative in your SEO search. Okay. All right. So then your bio, again, you have 3 to 5 seconds to attract or repel the person looking at your profile. You have to be okay with knowing you aren't for everyone, but you also have to know who you're wanting to work with. Okay. So I'm never going to say, hi, I take awesome pictures and I literally do everything under the sun. Never going to say that. The more specific I can be, the more someone's like, definitely don't need that. That's okay. We don't need people hanging around that don't even like us or who will never need our services, right? But the only way to attract is by repelling. And I'm going to give one example. Like there are so many controversial things right now where you're standing on one side of the fence or the other. Don't be a fence sitter. Pick one side, stand your ground, pick it. And that's what I want you to think of your niche. Okay. Don't be a fence sitter. I need you to decide like, nope, this is my niche. And I want people to figure out yes or no. So attract or repel. Okay. So we're going to do some live coaching. So I want you to drop your niche if you know what that is, and your location if you have one in the comments. And I'm going to pick a couple people. And I also hold on, before you drop this, I want your niche, your location, and your Instagram link. And I'm going to randomly select some people, and I'm going to look at what your bio says, and I'm going to try to help some of you. A lot of this I'm also going to do in a post today, which will go live at 12:15. You can drop your rewritten bio or a screenshot of your current bio, and I will help you guys and I will give you some feedback. Okay. So if you want to do that, again, I need your Instagram link all in one comment, Instagram link, your niche, and your location. Okay. And I'm going to pick some in just 1 second. For those of you that have to go, because I'm not trying to keep you here all day, I'm going to come back to the live coaching in just a second. But your call to action for day 1 is your goal. Oh, this is your call to action in your bio. So your goal is not to get someone to just follow you. because I have followed so many people and I've never gone back. I've never seen another thing. That's just not how the algorithm works. Your goal is to get that person to take an action on your account and exchange their contact information as quickly as possible, okay? So typically that means you want them signing up for your email list or you want them to DM you, okay? So that's typically the top two things you want someone to do. So you're going to give them something to help find a solution to their pain point or their desired income in exchange for their first name and their email address. If they are local, you are gaining potential clients by doing this. And I get the question all the time, how do I grow my email list? You give them something that's going to help them right now, that's going to help them choose you, or that's going to help them get a very quick win so that they'll trust you. They will be like, oh my gosh, this was so amazing that she gave this away. And then you have them on your email list and you can contact them for future sessions. Okay. And then obviously you would learn email marketing. That's a whole nother subject. I promise I'll take you down that path later. Okay. And then right underneath that, so you've got your call to action and then you've got your website link. So the best thing to put here is your own website. It's literally your own website link, taking them to the place where they can download or access what you are giving them. The second best option, if you don't have a website that allows you to have an Instagram page, or you just don't have a website at all, would be to use a link tree until you can get a custom URL. Okay, you want to keep a links page of some sort with like your top buttons, the top things that you're talking about all the time, so that people don't have to wait on you to get that information. They can just click it and go get it themselves. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to give homework and then I'm going to dive into those of you that dropped me your links. Okay, so we made it into day one. So here is your homework. Number one, I want you to nail your niche and be able to confidently tell me. So tomorrow on Tuesday, I'm going to release a homework post where you will have the opportunity to post all three of these things. Okay, for feedback, to say, hey, I did it. Hey, I'm actually implementing. And then we're going to be choosing people that are active all week long to receive some fun prizes. So stay tuned to that. Okay. So homework for today, nail your niche. In the homework post, I'm going to ask you to tell me what your niche is. So you're going to be like, number one, here's my niche. I am the go-to photographer for, and you're going to fill in the blank. Number two, you are going to restructure that bio so that it fits exactly what you just said above your niche. Okay. And then we're going to rewrite your bio. And then number three, you're going to start creating this free offer. And I know you guys are going to want coaching on this. I promise I'm going to help you tomorrow on this, but you're going to start creating that free offer. And I'm going to show you a tutorial if you guys need some beginner tutorials on, like, I don't even have an email, like I don't have anything for people to sign up for. I'm going to show you how. Okay. So you're going to start creating your free offer for that CTA section. So that way this week, some of you might be like, oh my gosh, I've already had like 5 signups, by Friday. And I can be like, this is amazing, right? So that is y'all's homework. Okay. All right, I'm going to scoot back. We're looking at niche and location. So let me see. There's so many comments. Y'all are going to have to hang out with me for just a second. I also don't know if this will let me, hold on. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take us off of shared. Let me see. We're going to stop the share. Okay, hello. All right, I need to go back to Facebook so I can grab these links from you guys. So give me just 1 second, please. Shh. I'm telling myself to be quiet. I'm so sorry. Okay, so first one I see, I'm just going to click on it and head over to Instagram. Okay, so I am on Brittany Diane Photography, and I'm actually going to share my screen. Let's just do that. It's way easier for you guys to have a visual. Okay, so Brittany, I've got to find your comment real quick because I'm doing this off of right there. Okay, so Brittany is newborns, Oklahoma City, Edmond area. Yes. Okay, got it. Okay, so your newborns. So the first thing I would do is, hey, A+ for username and profile picture. It's perfect. So now what we want to do, so this just says Oklahoma City. It's not bad. You could pop up. What I want to see is I literally want you to type in OKC newborn photographer, if it'll all fit. Okay, now look what happens. All these people also have Oklahoma City newborn photographer, and so they're popping up in my search result. I want you to do the same thing. So you're going to type in OKC newborn photographer right here. If you decide that you would rather serve Edmond, same thing, Edmond newborn photographer. Okay, that's what I want to go right there. Then for your bio, let's think, like, what kind of newborn photography are you looking for? Can you describe the perfect client? Do you do more lifestyle candid, or do you do more studio photography? So you've really got to think about that. And then what is something that you can give that expecting mom right now that's going to help her get connected with you and sign up for something and give you her first name and her email address, to where you're going to kind of like breadcrumb her to want to prepare. So maybe it is as simple as you want this to semi be related to what you're doing, but it doesn't totally have to be. So like for you, since you're the newborn photographer, maybe it's like the top 10 things to pack in your hospital diaper bag. Boom, right? And then one of the things in your freebie, that's what they're called freebies. Okay, so you're going to make this awesome guide. It's going to be quick. It's going to give her a checklist. It's going to give her a win, but you're also going to tie it into, you're either going to choose one of those 10 things to be related to newborn photography. So maybe like help her you know, learn how to take like the announcement of baby, like, you know, like baby's here. Here's how I would set this up to announce for your social media that your baby's here, something like that. Or what you could do is, out of those 10, give them like the 10 things that you would recommend. And then on the second page of your guide, what you could do at that point is you could also say, have you thought about newborn photography? Have you booked your newborn photographer? And then you just give an introduction into your services. That is literally how you would do this. Okay, so that is my example for you. Okay, let me see if I can find, sorry that y'all have to see my face frozen like that. Okay, so we're going to use Mandy, and she wants to focus on senior photography. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so first of all, follow. And Brittany, if I wasn't following you, I'm so sorry. I will come back and I will follow you. Okay, so here we have Mandy. So one thing that I would recommend you do, I want you to repost this picture of yourself. I don't even know, is this you? I don't know. But I would do one without text on it and just of you. Okay, so you've got focused memories photography, and then we have okay, so instead of your name being here, we want to look at, hold on, where is your comment? Y'all, this tech is kicking my butt today. Thank y'all for being so patient. Let me switch over here for just a hot second. You said senior photography. I don't know if I know where you're located at. Okay, so I don't know where you're located at. So if I'm a senior, I have no idea where you are. Okay, so right here it says, hello, I'm Mandy. I believe photography is essential to capturing the memories of your life, and I look forward to booking a session with you. Okay, so this is my point of, we don't want to be a photographer for everyone. So in your bio, I want you to put your location. So Dallas senior photographer, or Kansas City seniors, something like that, to where when people type it in, they can find you. And then your bio, what kind of senior, or what kind of senior experience can you give? Who are you looking for? So like for me, I work with a lot of seniors that are more kind of like non-urban. Okay, like we don't do a lot of downtown upscale things. And so if I was going to describe my senior experience, I would get really specific with like the type of senior photography that I do. That way that senior can know immediately, like, yeah, I'm interested in hiring you, or no, I'm not interested in hiring you. And then give your senior something. It could be like 3 types of outfits you should pack to your senior session. And then you could showcase your own images that you've taken, and again, pitch them into, have you booked your senior photographer yet? And then showcase your work, and then give them a link to your website of where they can find more information. Okay. Or give them, like, hey, thanks for checking out my guide. If you mention this guide, it's 10% off your senior photography. It's just however you guys want to do this. Okay. But I'm hoping that makes sense. Now, for the rest of you, okay, sorry, I was reading some comments. Okay, so for the rest of you, I'm gonna make another post again at 12:15. Go ahead and screenshot what you guys have in your bio, and I will give you this feedback just in a written form throughout the day and tomorrow, okay? Was this helpful? If you found this helpful, drop me like a party emoji or a thumbs up, a heart, something, just so I know that you guys learned something today. There's so much to cover. Like, I'm even overwhelmed thinking about it, but it's going to be so much fun. So we didn't cover everything today, but we did get a lot in day 1. You guys have a ton of homework to do. I'm so sorry. But that's the purpose of these workshops. It's to give you a lot of information, give you time to implement, and come right back. Okay. So if y'all thought day 1 was good, day 2 is going to blow your mind, because we are diving into the 8 types of content. So you will never, ever, ever, ever again post in another photography group and say, I don't know what to talk about on my social media. I got you covered. And I will also be diving into a few more things that you need to have on your Instagram. And then we'll dive into Instagram features and putting everything together on Friday. So get ready for the homework post. I will see you guys on Wednesday, and I'll be in the group shortly to help answer coaching questions. Have an awesome day, guys.